Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to give it a couple of minutes here, or a couple seconds, I guess, maybe not minutes, to allow people to kind of enter and get set up to take in everything we are going to hear from Amanda White. So hang with us for a little bit here, and we will get started shortly. Okay, I think that's probably enough time for people who are joining us. So again, thank you for being here with us on a Thursday afternoon as we learn about demystifying major gift giving from Amanda White, who has over a 20-year background in fund development, including the last 10 as the owner of her own consulting firm. Before we get started with Amanda's presentation, and I'm sure we're all chomping to get to it because it looks like a fantastic talk, and I'm sure we're going to have lots of things lots of questions from you. A couple of housekeeping items. First, this webinar is being recorded. So if you have registered, you will be getting an email link to our recording in a few days once we have time to clean that up. And number two, if you have a question for Amanda, and I anticipate that many of you will, we ask that you send your questions using the Q&A button on the bottom of the screen. We will hold questions until Amanda is finished presenting and then answer them at the end of the webinar. So again, use the Q&A button and we will get to your questions at the end of our program today. With that, I'd like to introduce myself. If you are not familiar, haven't joined our webinars, my name is Peter Benson. I am an SVP of Treasury Services at Park Bank, and I work with local businesses and nonprofit organizations to help meet all of their banking needs. And I will now pass the baton to our guest presenter, Amanda White. Please take it away.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me here. I'm excited to be talking to you all today about major gift giving, one of my favorite things. As Pete said, I've got a few years of experience in fund development, both having my own fund development consulting business and then just working for nonprofits throughout most of my career. I have had the wonderful opportunity to work with all sorts of different organizations. I've worked with over 50 different nonprofit organizations, mostly here in the Madison area, some peppered around the state, and about 25 capital campaigns. These are just a few of the different groups I've worked with. And certainly major gift giving has been a really important part of all of my conversations with nonprofit clients because it's something that I know every group is interested in and usually has a lot of questions about how they can start or build a major gift giving program. Before I get started today, I want to just kind of share some general good practices on fund development. And the first thing I want to do is I want to share one of my favorite quotes from one of my just favorite people, one of my heroes, Maya Angelou. And she says, you can only become accomplished at something that you love. Don't make money your goal. Instead, pursue the things you love doing and then do them so well that people can't take their eyes off of you. And I really think, although we do need fundraising goals and money goals, this is a real strong part of the foundation of good fund development, this idea, because good fundraising is never about the money. So often in the nonprofit community, we're so focused in on the money we have to raise, on the budget that we have to make, that all of our work and nervousness becomes about the money and the ask. But really, good fundraising isn't about the money, it's about people. It's about people believing in a shared cause, in a shared passion. It's about connecting with people who really care about the type of the work that you do. It's engaging them in the important mission that you're trying to accomplish. So at the end of the day, good fundraising is really about creating positive energy, positive connections, and being excited and passionate about the work that you do, because all of that is infectious. It really encourages people to want to get involved in the work that you do. Talking about major gifts, what exactly is a major gift? Um, First of all, major gifts can be any dollar amount depending on the size of the organization. So for organizations that have a budget of maybe around 500,000, a major gift might be a $10,000 gift. However, for other organizations who are $1 million, $2 million plus budgets, that threshold might be a lot higher. So one of the first important things to do is to identify within your organization, what is a major gift to us? Major gifts can come from individuals, family foundations, other philanthropic foundations, and corporate giving. Um, Really, there's all different shapes, sizes of major gifts. First of all, major gifts are typically a one-time gift that's a larger gift for that organization or individual, and it's typically for something specific. However, can you have major gifts for general operating? Absolutely. And you might cultivate some of those major donors on an annual basis to be giving at a major level on an annual basis. You can also do that through multi-year pledges. So, one of the ways that nonprofits have found success in securing major gifts is by offering the opportunity to pay that gift over a number of years, 2, 3, 4 years, makes it easier for the donor. And if you're looking for major giving for annual gifts, you can talk folks up to folks about the inspiring, exciting work you want to do, how you want to expand, that it's going to take resources to be able to grow your mission, to expand. And you can offer that still over a multi-year gift giving opportunity. It doesn't have to be just for capital campaigns or other one-time giving. Um, Restricted programs are one of the most popular and easiest ways to have major gifts. So that can be capital campaign gifts, endowments, large expansion to specific program. In-kind gifts can also be considered a major gift, and also charitable bequests. So there's all different types of major gifts. One thing to keep in mind, the fund development process, this is especially important for major gifts. It's really important that we follow this general process to be successful in major gifts and to keep donors giving within the organization. So the first thing you're going to do in the fund development process is you're going to identify prospects. And it's important with major gift giving that you identify people or organizations that could give you a larger gift. And then before you make an ask, you're going to engage them in the work that you do. You might invite them to one of your events. You may meet them for coffee. You may invite them to be a volunteer if that's something they're interested in. There's all different ways of engaging, but it's really important that people who are new to the organization, or maybe who haven't given a gift at that level or haven't given in a while, that you engage them, get them involved, have them feel good about their understanding of the organization and participation in the organization. And then when the time is right, then you make an ask. And then when you're successful in that ask, you thank them. And then that whole process starts over again. You engage them, ask, thank, engage, ask, thank. Um, when we think about the time invested in major gift giving, and major gift giving does take time, we see that the part that gets talked about the most in fundraising, especially major gift fundraising, is the ask. That's what people are typically usually the most nervous about. They don't know how to make it. They're really focused on the ask, but the ask part really is the smallest part of this whole process, because if you do the engagement and the thanking well, the ask is easy, right? So you identify the right people, you engage, engage, engage. Then when it comes time to make an ask, it's actually not too difficult. It makes sense and it feels comfortable to make that ask. And then if you thank them well and continue to engage them, making another ask when the time is right feels comfortable. So the thanking and engaging and having plans for that within your overall fund development plan and major gift giving strategy is really key to success. As I mentioned, fundraising takes time. So this process of major gift giving is a time investment. And that's why you really prioritize the prospects on your prospect list so that you're spending time in a way that's going to be most valuable. We're going to talk about that a little later. So why focus on major gift giving? For years, there's been just a lot of interest, a lot of focus on major gift giving. And of course, we understand it's because we need those dollars that major gifts can bring in. But really, major gift giving is an important part of our overall fund development structure within our organization. So this is the fundraising pyramid. It's a tried and true model of good fund development. I'm sure many of you recognize it. And it follows the 80-20 rule, or often in capital campaigns, we even see the 90-10 rule, where 80% or 90% of the dollars that you raise come from 10 to 20% of the donor pool. So that means there's a small amount of people who are giving the majority of the funds. And so the base of the pyramid is really those smaller donors, $100, $1,000, that range. And you have a lot of those folks. It's important to have a large base of those small gifts, because even though those small gifts don't add up very quickly to major dollars, it's important because that's where we start to often identify major potential donors. The best target audience for major gifts are donors who are already giving, who are already engaged, who already care about the work that you do, but they have a larger capacity to give than what they're currently giving at. And almost always, the reason that they're not giving more is not because they don't want to or wouldn't have an interest. It's simply because you haven't asked them. And that's absolutely, there's statistics on that, and it's absolutely true. The biggest reason that they aren't giving more is because they haven't been asked. So this giving pyramid is really important because you begin to identify some of those potential major donors within that base, and then you move them up the pyramid through engagement and thanking. And so they become major donors, and then maybe even they become they make a planned gift at the end of their life. Major gift giving is a very strategic investment. So while it does take time, it is actually usually more cost effective because of the larger dollars that you're able to raise than the other types of fundraising activities. One of the things that I always say, if you want, so often organizations give me a call and they say, we have to raise $50,000 by the end of this year. We have to raise $100,000 by the end of this year. We're going to do a big event. Do you plan events? And I say, I don't plan events, but I know some great people who do. But I also say, are you sure this is the best investment of your time? As we saw on this last slide, events are actually the most expensive way to try to raise funds. And often they don't raise nearly as many funds as you think they do. We will hear, we hear about organizations like Big Brothers Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Club, several organizations in town that raise some major dollars, like $300,000 plus, through galas and large events. And that is great. And those events really work for them. I've been to them, they're great. But for the majority of organizations, big fundraising events take so much of your time and usually have a much smaller return on your investment. And so I always say to people, if you're not doing a gala right now, don't do it. The better option is to look at major gift fundraising, not events. Major donors can be amazing ambassadors, and those ambassadors start with your board of directors. So, one thing to keep in mind is major gift giving starts with a strong culture of philanthropy within your organization. And that means that at every level of your organization, fund development is valued. So often with nonprofit organizations, we feel the fundraising is literally the F word of the nonprofit community. People don't like it, they don't want to be a part of it. Um, but it is so important to be able to achieve the work that you do. And if done well, it can actually be a very fun, enjoyable process. But building that culture of philanthropy, that fundraising is an important mission aligned program, just like the other programs of your organization, is important. And that really starts with your board of directors. And so we want to make sure in a culture of philanthropy that everyone is an ambassador and a relationship builder. So whether you're on the board or whether you're whether you're a volunteer, everybody understands how to talk about the organization and how to look for opportunities to build relationships or build awareness for the organization. Everyone can articulate a case for giving. Fund development is valued. It's not, we're going to put the fund development team at the end of the hallway because everything else is more important. No, they need to be mission aligned. Organization systems are developed to support donors. The executive director is committed and involved. And most importantly, the board fosters and leads fund development. And I will say that that does not mean that board members have to be expert fundraisers or even have to ask for money. It means that they're ambassadors. They are promoting the organization within their networks and they're being a leader within the organization. And that's different than being the person who asks for the dollars. Staff retention is critical. So, one of the other things that's critical to major gift giving is not only having this culture of philanthropy where fundraising is valued, but it also means that your fundraising staff is valued. And what we see in the nonprofit world, and I'm sure all of you understand this and feel this, is the average nonprofit staff person leaves after 16 to 18 months. It's high turnover. Turnover is expensive. Turnover is not good for the culture of any organization. But when it comes to fund development and executive directors and development directors who are really engaged and leading a lot of the relationships in this work, having high turnover of your executive director or your fund development staff means that you're losing that relationship point to your donors because they're the ones building the relationships. So not only is it very expensive to replace people every year and a half, but replacing that connection to your donors is very, very challenging. So treating your staff well, paying your development team and the rest of your staff as well as you can is so important to that relationship building for major gift giving. And this is what I was just sharing. I mean, so one of the things that I believe wholeheartedly, and I've seen time and time again, is people don't remember what you say, they remember how you make them feel. So, you can say the most marvelous things, but if you say it in a way that feels tired or sad or uncomfortable and nervous, people are gonna remember that more than what you actually said. And so again, having employees who feel valued within a culture of philanthropy, within a culture of an organization, having employees that want to stay, that want to be part of your organization, having employees that feel really positive and they exude that positivity, that will be huge in developing relationships with your donors because they're going to remember how the people from your organization made them feel. So another couple things to keep in mind for major gift giving and just kind of taking you through the process, very, very high level of the process of major gift giving. Step one is to identify and qualify prospects. As I mentioned earlier, prospect identification is very, very important because this does take time. It's a system, a process that takes a lot of time. You want to invest that time um, very strategically. So when we think about prospects for major gift giving, we focus on engagement, affinity, and capacity. So, how engaged are they within your organization? Because that very much matters to the level of gift that they might consider. How much affinity do they have for your organization's mission? And what is their capacity? So, folks who have a lot of engagement, they're really involved, and they also just have a lot of affinity. They love what you do, they're really focused on your mission. If they don't have a large capacity, then that doesn't necessarily make them a great major gift prospect, right? Because we do need folks with a capacity to give. So we are going to first look for those who are engaged, have an affinity, and have capacity. We're going to look at your current donor base first. I discussed this earlier when we talked about the pyramid. We are going to look at board connections. So this is where your board plays a really important part of the being an ambassador and building a culture of philanthropy is having them look within their connections. And people always say, I don't know anybody who has that kind of money. But in Madison, it's a half a degree of separation between everybody, basically. And so once I found that once I start working with boards and we start talking about the people they know, we start looking at different networks and different connections, they absolutely know people who can give a 10, 20, $50,000 gift. A wealth assessment tool can be helpful. iWave is what I use. There's Donor Search. There is Blackbaud has a tool. There's several tools out there that look at affinity, propensity, and capacity at that wealth to help you understand that part of somebody's background. And those can be very helpful. They can also be very expensive. So they're not always needed. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for. And then research, good old Google. There's a lot that you can find on the internet about people's past giving and what kinds of donations they make, what they prefer to spend their dollars on. Um, and it's also a place where you can look up Foundation 990s to see what foundations gifts have looked like and what levels they've been giving at. So what we call this donor research, prospect research is really important first step for your major gift giving program. So we research, we prioritize, and then we do time management, understanding how much time to put in each one. I have a prospect template tool that I share with clients. It's important to keep that all in one place. So have a list of your prospects that you can work with your staff, with your board on, and that you can stay focused on those list of potential gift givers. $1 million question. So the question I probably get asked the most when it comes to major gifts is, well, what do I say or what do I do to ensure that I have a positive outcome? So outreach. So once you've done the prospect research, then you're going to begin to outreach to each of those individual potential donors. First of all, again, I know I keep saying this, but it's so important. This is about building relationships. So having somebody connect you to this potential major donor is the key. So whether they're a current donor and you can look back at the history and see, how did they find out about you? Did somebody bring them into the organization? Maybe you share your prospect list with your board and you ask your board, does anybody know these potential prospects? Maybe your development director or your executive director already does know that donor. You need to figure out who knows that person, at least has some kind of knowledge or relationship with them that can be your connector, and can help make an introduction or help arrange a meeting with that prospect. And then just always be honest and upfront about the purpose. Don't try to hide that you're interested in talking with them about a project or about your organization, because you're interested in having them participate or engage in a philanthropic way. It's not good to surprise people when they get to the meeting. um a warm-up call. So once you identify who that connector is, they should do a warm-up call. It doesn't mean they have to make the ask, but they should just have a talk to that person or email that person and see if they're interested in learning more about the work that you do. And then if they are, then you set up a meeting, or you may invite them to a house party, or you may invite them to your organization's next event as a way to start to engage them in learning more or in the work that you do. When you're at that meeting, so you identify the prospect, you get the meeting, they seem excited about learning more about what you do. What does that meeting agenda look like? First of all, you should have a meeting agenda for every major gift conversation meeting that you're going to have. It's so important to think through that meeting, and how the sequence and flow of that meeting is going to go, and then what it is you are asking for or hoping for next steps. So, the first thing, this is just a typical general meeting agenda. It may change a bit depending on the donor, but you're going to have just some small talk first and introductions, right? And try to make it as authentic and comfortable as possible. And then once you've had a little bit of, introduction, small talk, then you need to transition to the project or update. And you can say something like, as you know, we reached out to you because we wanted to share our exciting project or maybe just an update on the organization with you. I have a brief overview to share, and then I'd love to hear your thoughts. The old adage, ask for advice and you'll get money, but ask for money and you'll get advice, is so true in fund development. And that's because people want to be engaged. They want to share their ideas, they want to share their thoughts. And that absolutely can lead to a gift. Ask if they have questions. So share an update, then ask if they have questions. And then most importantly, actually, is ask your questions. Because while this meeting is an important opportunity for them to get to know you, it's just as important for you to get to know them, to understand what their gift giving priorities are. What are some of the organizations that they typically give to? What is it about your mission or what you've shared really resonates with them? So, if they have questions as you're giving the update, or if you can see them kind of light up during certain pieces of it, ask them more about those areas of interest. Um, and then, if the timing is right, make an ask. And then you confirm next steps. It's really important to confirm the next steps. So they're not wondering, and you're not wondering, ooh, when is it? Is it too soon to call them? I haven't heard from them. What do I do? No matter what, confirm next steps so you can follow up. Um, Making the ask or not. So some consultants will say you always make an ask no matter what. I tend to not believe that. I believe that it may or may not be the right time to ask. And typically, Donors will let you know if you have the privilege to make that ask. If it's a comfortable time to make that ask. So think about, I like to ask myself in donor meetings, okay, does it feel like the right time? Do I feel like I have a right to make this ask right now? And does this feel like a cold call? So if they're new to the organization, one of your board members introduce them, you're just getting to know them in this meeting. If they've got their poker face on and there's not a lot of engagement and you're not feeling like they necessarily feel a connection, um, it can sometimes be too soon. However, if they're asking a lot of questions, they seem really engaged, they're excited about your project, then absolutely make an ask, even if it's a first meeting. If it feels too soon, you should always ask for money. So if it feels too soon, you should always ask for something. And that would be engagement instead of dollars. So then if it feels too soon, you need to get them engaged so that you can work towards an opportunity to have that kind of gift giving relationship with them. So ask them to be ready to ask them to come to an upcoming event. Be ready to say, you know what, this was such a wonderful conversation. Can I follow up with you in 3 weeks? And could we have another check-in after you've had some time to absorb what we've shared? You can, if you know of some kind of volunteer opportunity and they seem kind of interested in that, you could ask them for that. So no matter what, have an action plan for how they're going to engage with you, either through a gift or through engagement. And then step 3, engage. So whether you make an ask or not, or whether they give or not, you are going to engage them. And I've talked about this now several times. And you see it's events, you can send nice, and when I say events, I mean like program related events. I mean maybe some small house parties. I do not mean large, galas and things. Send nice notes about progress. So you listen in the meeting for the areas that they are most interested in, and then look for opportunities to update them. So if you work for the Humane Society and they seem really interested in cats, and you just were able to adopt a whole bunch of cats at an event, let them know that. Send them a nice note. Just do anything to kind of keep you top of mind. Invite them to volunteer, invite them on a site tour. Um, Site tours, especially for organizations where their sites are more than just offices. Um, Having a site tour and having them actually see the work in progress is a great way to engage. And then be patiently persistent. So, this is where I think it's really difficult in major gift giving, because you need to be persistent. You need to continue to engage with them and keep it top of mind. But you also have to be patient, because if you're too eager and you're too pushy, that's going to kind of push people away as well. So as fund development professionals, we have to find that balance. And my friend Al Fish said to me a couple years ago, Amanda, it's all about being patiently persistent, and he could not be more right. So then making the ask. Make sure to set up another meeting. And then one of some of the language that I like, that actually, if any of you remember Boris Frank, he actually shared this language with me years and years and years ago, and has been a past mentor of mine. Would you consider a gift in the range of? And that gives some flexibility, instead of saying, would you consider a gift of X? But would you consider a gift in the range of? And once you make that ask, say nothing and wait. It could be quiet for several seconds, and it's going to feel uncomfortable, and you're going to feel like you should say something right away, but don't. Just let it sit there and wait for them to say something first. That's really important, because if you start talking, you're not ever going to know what their first reaction was. So let them talk first. And then remember this fund development process and follow this process and keep it front of mind. I also, in just the last couple minutes of my presentation, want to talk about community centric fundraising. This has been a movement within fund development and the philanthropic community. And it's a really important one. Historically, we've really kind of put donors on the pedestal and we've talked about them as the big heroes of the story. But really, our clients, your clients, the people you serve, the animals you protect are the heroes of your story. It's their stories that not only are the reason that you do the work that you do, but it's their stories of impact that have people want to engage in the work that you do. So the nonprofit community, as I'm sure many of you are doing right now, is really taking a second hard look at the way we communicate our thank yous and our engagement of donors who are so important to us, who we could not do this work without. Um, but it's important that we don't elevate them above the clients and the important work that's happening. And so when you're doing a capital campaign, you think of naming opportunities. When you think about your outreach, when you think about your leadership in DEI within your project, I really encourage you to learn more about community centric fundraising and using this lens as a way to for donor appreciation and for shaping your organization. And one person who I'm sure so many of you have heard about is Vu Lee. He's hilarious. I had the opportunity to see him talk several years ago in Madison. He has really been such a driving force in community centric fundraising, and I encourage you to check out his website. And I think he has a podcast as well. Don't forget to celebrate every milestone along the way. Fund development, especially capital campaigns, can be really hard and exhausting. That's why it's so important to celebrate every big achievement, small or large, because that's what keeps us excited. That's what keeps us motivated because it feels so great to bring people into the organization and to be able to raise more dollars to do more good. Before I end and we move into questions, I wanted to let you all know that I have a fund development coaching plus workshop series that's coming up in September. And this is something that I started last year, and we've seen unbelievable actually success and positive feedback on. Last year's coaching plus workshop series was focused on capital campaigns. This year's September coaching plus workshop series is focused on stronger end of year giving strategies and building a 2025 fund development plan. And the idea is we merge coaching and consulting, which for individual organizations, with small group monthly workshops. And I'm finding that combination of the two, so coaching and consulting with me tailored to your organization, plus bringing in experts. Like last year, I had Tom Linfield, I had Becky Steinhoff, I had Al Fish, Betty Harris Custer, lots of great people who brought into the workshops their own wisdom and expertise. And the nonprofit organizations that did this, went through this 4-month process, just really raved about it. And so doing that starting again in September, focused on fund development, and would love to talk to you if you have an interest in that program. All right, so that is the end of my presentation. I would just say that everybody can be successful at major gift giving, as long as you're positive and confident and you have a strategy and a plan. It doesn't matter if you're an extrovert, an introvert, if you feel comfortable with fundraising or not. Everybody can be successful at major gift giving. You just have to have the right formula and strategy in place. So thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Amanda. That was a lot of information to digest in
Yes.
a short period of time. I'm going to start out our question and answer session with one that came to me because I'm the host and I get to do that sometimes. Um,
Right.
how long should I think about a typical onboarding of a new major donor that I have, identified as a prospect? How long does that usually take?
So it's really hard to say. So, with so many questions when it comes to major gift giving, there is typically no one answer, no right one answer. And it's because it depends on the donor. So often, unfortunately, I have to give vague answers like it depends on the donor because it does. Every donor is different. And so some donors may just have a strong passion for the type of mission work that you do. And they have a capacity and you hit them at the right time where they are kind of looking for more opportunities to give, and you make an ask fairly quickly, maybe even in that first meeting they give, and it maybe only is a 2-month process, right, in terms of identifying the prospect. Maybe a board member is recommending them, and then doing a little research, getting ready for the meeting, setting the meeting, and then having the meeting. With other donors, it might be a year or 2 years because especially for major gift giving, it has to be a mix of good timing, good fit, and just the right chemistry between the people who are giving and the people who are asking. And if you don't have all of those things, then it can be very difficult to make that gift happen. And if it's a timing issue, it's just not the right time. Maybe it's the right time a year later. Maybe it's the right time 2 years later. And that's why we say fundraising takes time, because in that time, if the other pieces are in place and they seem like they'd be a really strong prospect, then you just drop them little notes throughout the year and you kind of work on that relationship building, and eventually they very well may come around. I've seen that happen time and time again, where especially in capital campaigns where the time wasn't right early on in the campaign, but a year or two into the campaign they come through with a $500,000 gift. They said not right now. But I think it's a really important for folks to know not right now is not no. And that's really important.
I appreciate that answer, and I know I started you off with a tough one. I was approaching it from the perspective that the average, you said something earlier, 12 to 18 months for your average, you know, duration
Employee. Yeah.
of an employee doing this. Then how do
Yeah.
we as board members, as key people connected with these organizations, help keep that in perspective and help the employees feel supported and engaged on their own so that they stay long enough to have some major success.
Yep. Yep. That's right.
Okay, enough of my curiosity. Do you have any thoughts on what is the right amount of time to dedicate to major gift development for maybe a one-person shop? We have somebody who has a subset of their division who might be working on many things, and how much time should they spend on this versus programming or some other aspects of their job?
Yeah. Another good question. I don't have to say it again. It sort of depends on the organization. Um, and I would say it depends on your goal. It depends on your organization. It depends on all of the other hats that you are wearing. I mean, let's face it, in the nonprofit world, executive directors and really all employees, especially at very small nonprofits, we expect so much and too much, usually. I mean, you have to wear a lot of hats. And so understanding that there are fires that you're putting out every day, and there are important programs that need to happen, um, it gets really tough to deal with time management. And so, what I would encourage, and again, this is me knowing very, very little to nothing about the organization, I would encourage you to, in your in your calendar, even schedule 5 to 10 hours a week, where you are either meeting with your current donors who are on that prospect list or other prospects. You are working on looking at reports, looking at who gave this month. We didn't even talk about that because we didn't really have time in this session, but analyzing the data that you have in your donor database is so important. Taking that 5 or 10 hours a week to also make sure you're looking at your prospect list and your strategies. I always encourage clients to schedule that literally into their calendar and try to hold that time as sacred time. Otherwise, so often fund development's kind of put on the back burner.
Um, thank you for that. Beth is wondering, what do you see as some of the most impactful collateral when approaching a new major donor prospect?
For major gift giving, it is nice to have a leave behind, but it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's nice to have a brochure of your organization that is mostly photos and inspiring content, not something that they have to spend 10 minutes reading because there's so much print. Um, Often, and again, it depends on the donor, right? And it depends, is this a virtual meeting? Is it an in-person meeting? But often I would say it's nice to have a few slides that you can share either virtually or even in person if you have a laptop, and you can share some slides of pictures of your impact, and and folks in your organization out in the community, a quote from one of your clients, something that basically helps tell your story. Because I find with a lot of my clients, they feel better prepared and better able to share that story if they have the structure of a PowerPoint, and they don't have to like read the slides or anything, but just kind of go through it and say, oh, and this is a picture of so and so. She, was able to get down payment assistance for her home, and now she's a homeowner. And so it's nice to have those slides as both a visual, especially if it's for a virtual meeting, but also to help kind of you tell that story and have the flow. And then video is always really nice to send beforehand, as a way to just get somebody excited about meeting with you, or as an email follow-up.
I I totally agree about the video. We've on some of the nonprofits that I've been involved with, video presentations beforehand have been very, very effective, and it's just a great way to introduce people to what you do if they're not familiar.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, thank you for answering that. Val
Mhm.
is wondering your opinion on whether matching gifts can be a key component of major gift giving.
Yes, they can. Um, and I think again, it depends on the context of what you're trying to raise money for. So, for example, with capital campaigns, they can be highly motivating, especially if you get like a large six-figure gift. And then there's so many ways you could use that match. It could be for a handful of other major givers who would come together to match that one gift. It could be through a more public campaign where you'd have some people giving major gifts. I think matches are especially helpful for major gift giving when maybe you have somebody give $100,000 matching gift, and you have a couple donors who you've met with, who you know are interested in giving, but they haven't quite made the decision yet, it's great to go to them and say, hey, listen, this organization just gave us $100,000 matching gift. Um, a gift of 25,000 from you would help us get so much closer to our match. And I've absolutely several times found that then that's just kind of that final thing that major gift givers need to have them prioritize making that gift.
Excellent. Thank you for that advice and the question, Val. Um, Helen is actually asking me to go back to a more specific point. You said 40% of your time should be in the thank you phase. As a percentage, that seems like a lot. So do you have specific strategies or recommendations as to what should make up the activities in that?
Sure. So, thanking can be on many levels, right? And I'd say there's some gray area between thanking and engagement. So you could even kind of think of the two together, really. But different strategies for thank yous. A great way to get boards involved in donor appreciation is having one board member each month be responsible for calling new donors over a certain level. And they call or drop an email, but often groups call and leave messages because people don't answer because they don't know who's calling them. And then, or if they reach somebody, it's actually a really fun way for boards to get engaged because people are so appreciative for the call and they're so excited about your organization. So it's a great kind of motivation for your board as well. So so calling or emailing new donors or repeat donors and getting your board involved with that to help with that time management. You can have small donor appreciation events that don't take much time to plan. They can be very simple, but just again, giving donors a chance to get together and meet each other and also be appreciated by you. You can have part of that thanking process be cards. So something happens, as I mentioned earlier, your organization, and you think, oh, this donor would be so excited to hear about this news. Instead of hoping they read about it in your e-update, send them a card or print the e-update and handwrite a nice note on it, just saying, hey, I thought you'd be really excited about this, wanted you to see it, and circle it. Like things like that that are very, very simple, but do take some time management because, these things take time. But just show your appreciation in a really authentic way. And I think getting the board involved in that not only is helpful for the organization from a time management standpoint, but also is really rewarding for the board and is really important for board engagement.
I I like a few of those steps. Those are things that keeping a board engaged is not always easy, as many of you on here can attest. And so those are great ideas for how to, and they're simple ways to make sure that everybody is moving things in the right direction. So thank you for those.
Sure.
Zach is asking if you would be able to talk about who you might want to focus on for a campaign steering committee aside from the leadership gift donors and key long-term donors.
Um, that's the $1 million question for capital campaigns. So good question, Zach. So the key to a capital campaign, any capital campaign of any size, what's going to make or break your capital campaign above all else is your leadership team, your board and your capital campaign committee and your executive director and your development director. Like those people are so, so key, especially the capital campaign committee. So it's important to have a couple board members on your capital campaign committee because that is an important liaison to the board. We don't want the board to not feel leadership and ownership of the campaign. It's so important that they do. And you might also have some board members who would just be great campaign committee members. Um, often it's difficult in Madison, in the greater Madison area, to find campaign committee members because there are so many campaigns going on at any given time. On average, I think easily there's 20 to 40 campaigns going on in the community, which for a community of this size is a lot. And so it can be really challenging to find the right people. But again, it's all about who you know. So if you feel like within your donor base and within your board, you don't have a full committee, that you don't have enough people to help make new introductions to your organization for major gifts, then you start to look at your board connections. So then you start to talk to your board about who they know, who's their doctor, who's their dentist, are they in Rotary, who goes to their church or place of worship. Like, just start talking and thinking through their connections to see if they might be able to bring somebody in. And some of your major donors may also have ideas. So maybe they are or aren't interested in the committee, but they may have ideas on who would be interested or who might make a good committee member. So it's still all about who you know and who your organization's like relationship network is, and you just have to work those to find the right people.
Thank you. There's a little bit more to that than I initially thought you might have to say. So that's a great question, Zach. We have an anonymous question here. Thank you, anonymous attendee. What is the total relationship and maybe even some action steps between major giving and legacy society support?
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good question, anonymous. So legacy giving, planned giving is a whole nother can of worms that is also very, very connected and similar to major gift giving, but also different. So, those legacy gifts, organizations may know or may not know that you're in somebody's will. Um, and I think often, for especially for smaller organizations, they get these gifts. Often planned gifts are the largest gifts you will ever receive as an organization. And so often they come by surprise. Now, the goal is to have it not be so much a surprise and to build a strategy and a program within your organization that at minimal lets donors know that you have the ability to not only accept all different kinds of gifts, but that you have a way to appreciate, acknowledge, and sort of formalize when people add you to their planned to their estate planning. So in terms of major gift givers, of course, major gift givers are a key target audience for when you're trying to seek planned gift givers. I mean, major gift givers, especially those who have given multiple major gifts to the organization, are a great potential for that opportunity. And so those are tricky conversations to have. And it's a whole nother presentation that I would need to give on this because we're talking about end of life. And that's a very emotional and sacred conversation. But the minimal thing your organization should do is have a process and a structure for planned gifts. That I don't know if you're going to have a legacy society or you're going to acknowledge the folks who have identified you in their will. But you need to have a clear strategy and plan for that that you can share with your major donors and let them know that this is available within your organization. And then a next step might be to start having some conversations with key major donors who have been longtime donors and have a real connection with the organization. Um, yeah, so hopefully, again, there's a lot more I could say, but hopefully that begins to answer the question.
I, I think you nailed it. I think you got a great head start on that. Amanda, you have been fantastic. This has been a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much for sharing your insights, your talents, and kind of your expertise with us. I have one more question that I hope is fairly easy to answer. Do you have contact information available for people who would like to get in touch with you about your series coming up or about any other help they might need from you?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You can reach me at amandawhiteconsulting.com. You can visit my website at amandawhiteconsulting.com. I know there's going to be a follow-up email with this webinar, right, Peter? So
Yeah.
I'd be happy to have my contact information, phone number, email included in that. I will say that I'm happy to meet with nonprofits. I offer a free 45-minute discovery session, a virtual discovery session for anybody who's just interested in learning more or talking with me. I offer fund development coaching, capital campaign planning and coaching, strategic planning, board development, and these coaching and workshop sessions that are going to start in September. So there's a whole wide range of ways that I can help, and I definitely encourage folks to reach out.
Excellent. Again, thank you very much, Amanda from Amanda White Consulting, and to all of our participants today. We hope you took something away from her presentation. Reminder, we will be sending you a link to the webinar recording as soon as that is available. And again, you have Amanda's contact information. Please feel free to reach out to her. We appreciate your attendance and your participation. Thank you. We will see you next month.